sana, tamu sana, yes. There is a prediction by former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga. Mutunga predicts that this year we might have a handshake between William Ruto and Raila Odinga. And that prediction has also been captured by standard media today in form of a question. Is Willy Mutunga correct in predicting a Raila-Ruto handshake? That's the question being posed by standard media. And in this video, that's the question I want us to answer right now. But before we do that, in case you've bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Yes, this prediction by Willy Mutunga is meant to excite a section of Kenyans or a section of the political class who already are sensing defeat. So Willy Mutunga just wants to give them hope that even though you are going to lose, you will be in government through a handshake. That's what Willy Mutunga is trying to do, and that's his main political agenda and objective by making such kind of a prediction. And then lately, if you look at Willy Mutunga's recent political pronouncements, he has been attacking the handshake between Uhuru and Raila Odinga. And just recently, he was also attacking BBI. And then now here, he's calling for a handshake between Raila and Ruto after this year's election. And then again in 2013, a good majority of Kenyans were a little bit disappointed with Willy Mutunga's ruling at the Supreme Court. At a time, a good majority of Kenyans felt that 2013 presidential elections were not very fair. Willy Mutunga and his team of judges, Supreme Court judges, actually sanitized that election and just gave Uhuru Kenyatta victory. A majority of Kenyans felt that that was very unfair. And that, in my considered opinion, that tainted the image, or rather tainted the image of the judiciary, which Maraga actually rectified 5 years later in 2017. So Willy Mutunga has actually been going contrary to the popular views of Kenyans. And in this case, he might just be serving the interest of a few Kenyans who are already sensing defeat. So back to the question, is the handshake between William Ruto and Raila Odinga possible after this year's election? That's the question I want us now to answer. In politics, anything is possible. And I'm not ruling out that kind of a possibility. But from where I sit personally, I strongly believe that that is something that might not actually happen. And I'm saying that because if you look at the recent handshakes we have had in Kenya, one being between Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki, and then the recent one between Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta. Those handshakes were done after largely a majority of Kenyans felt that the elections were not fair. In 2007 elections, it was almost clear and certain that Raila Odinga might have won 2007 election. But upon the elections being rigged, actually Kenyans took to the streets, and that's what led to the handshake between Kibaki and Raila Odinga. It was clear that those elections, or that election of 2007 was not fair. Chances are very high it might have been rigged, and actually even Kregler, in his report, confirmed that he could not ascertain who actually won that election. So it was very clear that that election might have not been very free, might have not been free and fair. And then in 2017, the Supreme Court itself actually nullified those presidential elections of 2017, citing some kind of irregularities. So it's also very clear that 2017 election was also not free and fair. So you can see that these handshakes have been done at a time Kenyans strongly believed that the elections were not free and fair. In this year's presidential election of 2022, without taking sides at all, but just to state the truth as it is, it's almost very certain that in a free and fair contest, Raila Odinga is most likely going to beat William Ruto. And is not only going to beat William Ruto, but is going to give William Ruto a thorough beating. That's the actual reality on the ground. And basing my argument from the recent opinion polls, you can see largely Raila Odinga beating William Ruto in all the provinces except in Central and in Rift Valley. And in Central, campaigns properly have not started there. William Ruto has been doing his campaigns there, while the Azimio team, led by Raila Odinga and the president, have not started serious campaigns there. And I've always maintained here that the day the president will step foot on the mountain, that will be the beginning point of things changing on the mountain. We might actually find a drastic shift from William Ruto to Raila Odinga. The moment the president will go directly to the people to persuade them into supporting his presidential candidate in this year's election. And that's largely because our politics is ethnic-based. Nothing has changed. That's the reality of what is most likely to happen. So if only Raila can beat William Ruto in all the 6 regions of this country, and then Raila gives William Ruto a run for his money on the mountain, then it's almost certain that Raila is going to win this year's election with a landslide. So upon Raila winning with a landslide, I don't see any chance of a handshake, because we shall be having a clear winner and a clear loser. Yes. So there will be no need of a handshake at all. And in the event Raila forms a handshake with a clear loser, then actually Raila will be beating or rather will be going contrary to the reason actually Kenyans voted for him. Because I strongly believe that the main reason a majority of Kenyans might be voting for Raila Odinga as their president this year is to run away from the ills associated with William Ruto. You know, Kenyans are tired of corruption. And largely if you look at William Ruto and this brigade, they come out as a people representing that corruption. Because in 2018, Kenyans were asked a simple question. Who do you think is the most corrupt Kenyan alive? Kenyans ranked William Ruto as the most corrupt Kenyan alive, followed closely by Anne Waiguru. As I talk, they are in the same political camp. And likely, William Ruto, and this you will agree with me, William Ruto is being seen to be the leader or a person who has been representing the bad face of Jubilee. A Jubilee that was characterized by lots of corruption, lots of hooliganism, and lots of dictatorship. That has been the bad face of Jubilee government since 2013 election. A Jubilee government that could actually appoint almost half of the cabinet from one community. That has been the bad face of Jubilee government. And largely, if you look at it keenly and objectively, William Ruto is being seen to have been the bad face of that government. So I tend to believe Kenyans are voting for Raila Odinga to run away from all those ills. So if Raila forms, or rather has a handshake with William Ruto, actually will be going contrary to the main reason why Kenyans might actually elect him as the president in this year's election. And from where I sit, without taking sides, Raila is going to win. Raila is going to beat William Ruto with a very big margin in this year's election. And should that happen, then actually William Ruto should actually accept defeat. And Raila Odinga should now be allowed to actually rule without any kind of a handshake. That's my considered, or rather that's what I strongly believe, and that's what I think. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, just as I did state when we were starting, in case you've bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans, our subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya.